Beatles on QFM 96. Number 3 this week in 66 with Rubber Soul. And with the time at 4 before 10, I'll remind you that after 10, my guest will be Joey Molland of the original Badfinger. And we'll be talking about and playing the music of Badfinger and artists that he and the group worked with, like the Beatles, Todd Rundgren, Jimi Hendrix. You'll find out the connection with Jimi Hendrix shortly. He's in the studio now.
Yes.
So, I'm not letting you down. Now I've made the promise, I'll be able to keep it. But finally, for this week in 1966, here's a very unusual record by today's standards. It was actually a top 20 hit in 66. This particular week it was number 28 and climbing. Here's Slim Harpo, Baby Scratch My Back, on QFM 96. What a rocker, wasn't that, Joey?
Excellent, excellent.
The Animals on QFM 96. Inside Looking Out, that was in the charts for the first time this week in 66. Co-written by Eric Burdon and Jackie Lomax. Jackie Lomax you knew, didn't you?
Yeah, for a while he's a good friend. Well, I still know him. He lives in L.A. now.
Yeah, but he's from Liverpool too, obviously.
From Liverpool, yeah. He used to be a bass player in a group called The Undertaker's good rock and roll band.
I remember them well. I've been searching many years for their record. That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, they're good, man. Good.
Got the title, but that's the one.
Wake up, Columbus, come on!
And of course, Jackie was on Apple the same time as you.
Yeah, Jack was there, yeah.
Now, listeners, this is
He nearly joined us. Let me tell you, he nearly joined us.
Oh, yes,
one
of course,
time.
I forgot that. You
we
told
were
me
rehearsing to go on tour, and the band, one of the guitar players got sick or something, or I don't know, went back to Chicago for whatever reasons, and so we phoned up Jack and asked him to come down. He came down, and Jack plays this kind of sophisticated blues R&B music, and he's very tasty guitar player, excellent guitar player, and you know, just it wouldn't work with what we were doing because that's all he does.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? And we do a lot of different styles, and it just didn't come together. But it would have been great to play with him. Nice one, Jack.
Ooh, undoubtedly, undoubtedly. Anyway, we'll be talking to Joey, who was original member of Badfinger.
I was.
Very shortly, yes.
Shortly.
And he survived it, didn't you?
I survived it, yeah, I did, yeah.
I think we should point out for listeners, this is what a real Liverpool accent sounds like.
Hello, everybody.
See? You see, listeners often
Something
call me on the request line, and they try to fool me that they're British.
Yeah.
And they put on a Liverpool accent, assuming that everybody in England talks with a Liverpool accent.
Well, they do, most people, most normal people.
That's true. It's just the oddities like myself who don't.
Disc jockeys don't, and bus conductors. Other than that.
I know
Hurry
what
up.
we'll do. I know what we'll do.
Hurry up, man.
We'll put a commercial in here.
Advertisement.
I was expecting miracles. I pressed the button to start a commercial without actually putting the commercial in the machine. Now we'll see if it works.
Yeah, let's do this.
Ultra Bright K755. Songwriter Paul G. had been writing his heart out for singing star Linda B., but she just wasn't buying any of his lines. Then, Ultra Bright tickled his ivories, got his smile dynamite white, his breath fresh. Got Paul noticed. Then Linda started singing a different tune.
The latest song you wrote captured the real me. Such feeling.
Really?
Such sensitivity.
That's music to my ears.
When I hear that melody, my passions stir.
Well, I happen to know a quiet little piano where we could talk this over.
And they've been making beautiful music together ever since. For a smile that's dynamite white and breath that's dynamite fresh, Ultra Bright. It'll get you noticed.
Get that Ultra Bright Dynamite White at Hearts. Save on Hearts everyday low prices on Ultra Bright toothpaste. Every day, Hearts brings value home to you.
As I told you just now, Joey comes from Liverpool, the genuine article this time. And of course, you were in Liverpool, you at least lived there, probably even playing there in the early 60s when the Beatles were at the Cavern and people like the Searchers and so on were there.
I was 15 at the time when the Beatles played at the Cavern. I used to work at a shipping office downtown Liverpool. I used to go to the Cavern in lunchtime. It was about a quarter to get in. And they'd play for Beatles, and groups like them would play for about an hour and a half. It's good. Good singing.
And were the Beatles always the favourite group with the local crowd there?
No, there was all different. I used to chop and change. They were, 62, 63 times, but they were a group. The Undertakers were a knockout group. There was another group called the Roadrunners, like a Rolling Stones band. Yet another group called the Mojos, who were, I thought, excellent. And,
yes, I remember them
lots of up-and-coming groups.
Now,
L. Preston's Realms, he says to me quietly.
now, at that time, did anybody know, expect, or even hope that the Beatles and these other Liverpool groups would become that big, or did they just enjoy them as a local act and
I think
never really thought any more about it?
Everybody just liked it as a scene. There was a great scene in Liverpool, just a lot of musicians. Well, I wouldn't call them musicians. A lot of layabouts who played guitars and stuff and liked to drink and do all those things. And so they liked to play rock and roll music, you know what I mean? It just got like that. So nobody was really going, oh, I want to be great when the Beatles make it and then we all can make it, or when, you know, Jerry and the Pacemakers make it, we'll all do it. The general attitude amongst the musicians was, you mean we might actually get to make a record sometime? That'd be fantastic, you know? And it is fantastic when you do get to make a record.
Oh, I can
But
imagine.
generally it was just, no, let's play rock and roll and, you know.
So unlike musicians today, they weren't planning to definitely make records and make the charts, and they weren't
No.
gearing themselves towards that. They were just playing because they really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, everybody wanted to be, a professional, make £15 a week or $35 to you folks. Everybody wants to do that when you're young and playing the guitar. You want to make a living at it, but nobody really thinks about doing it.
No, I wonder what the people's attitude was in Liverpool. I mean the audience. Today you get in crowds, people who like the new music before anybody else does.
Yeah.
Now, did Liverpool people feel that way because the rest of the country was still listening to Bobby V and Bobby Vinton? Or did they...
Liverpool was very kind of proud of itself, very, what's the word? Prejudiced against, like, your London groups and your Cliff Richard and the Shadows and all that stuff. Really getting into rock and roll here. We're talking leather suits and, boots and everything like that, and let's turn the guitars up, just very proud of it, really. And we thought the best bands in the world came from Liverpool.
On QFM 96, a live recording of the Beatles from 1963. That was, in fact, from Stockholm, Sweden.
Yeah.
And that was about the time that you were about, 15, 16 years old?
16 years old.
Hanging around the cabin.
Yeah. Starting to play, joined a group called the Profiles. We used to play in a club called the Basement to play rock and roll music. Had a hell of a drummer in those days. Heck of a drummer, I mean.
What was his name? He asked.
His name was Peter Wiggins.
Oh.
Guy ended up baldy and in jail in South Africa. What can
I
you
thought
do?
you were going to say it was somebody like Ringo Starr or something.
No,
I
it
thought you were
wasn't
hinting
Ringo
at somebody
Starr.
famous.
I mean, he wasn't good enough looking to be in our band, man.
Oh, I can understand that. And where
See?
did you go to, which group did you go to from there?
Where did I go to? I joined a group called the Masterminds. Used to be this band. I used to go watch them on the Blue Angel. You might have heard of the Blue Angel. It was quite a nice club. I used to go and watch them there late night every night. After about 4 months, I joined them. And Andrew Luke Oldham came in one day, and
The Rolling Stones
he was
manager.
the Rolling Stones manager. Yeah, the Stones had played at the Empire, and they came down. And we were all drinking, and we were playing. And Andrew Luke Oldham, this is when it happened. He said, "Would you boys like to come to London and make a record, folks?"
You said no thanks, we're
We
busy.
said,
We're busy.
"Wow,
huh?
make a record." I think we were the only band in England that did Bob Dylan songs. I think that's what knocked him out, So we went and recorded She Belongs to Me. And that was our first record. It was great.
Which we don't have.
No, of course we don't have it now.
So where did you go from there?
Back to Liverpool.
By the way, what were you playing? Did you always, play lead or always play bass or whatever with these
always
groups?
played, most of the bands I've been in have had two guitar players, and we've kind of traded off, Sometimes I play rhythm, sometimes I play lead.
Was that a typical thing with groups in those days? Because I believe the
Yeah,
Beatles
a couple
did
of
to begin with.
couple of guitars. Yeah, they even did it on Abbey Road. John played lead on Abbey Road. George didn't play all the lead.
I didn't know that.
John played a lot of lead. He's a heck of a guitar player. Gosh.
I was unaware.
Oh, he is. He's real good. You know all that stuff. What's it called? Mean Mr. Mustard. Where it goes into the down, down. You know this one, folks. You recognise it?
They do.
And they go into the guitars, all the different guitars. What I believe happened is the three of them stood in the row, John, Paul and George, with guitars on. And they played the track back over the speakers, and there's the three of them in the line in the studio, going do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, when doing their little bit of guitar when it happened. Can you imagine that? Can you picture that?
I
It
can.
was good, really exciting image. Anyway.
I just thought it was done with tape machines and overdubbing and stuff.
No, they stand
And one
there.
guitarist.
No, they stand there and play it. The three of them get excited.
That's amazing.
about it. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, let's talk about your next group now. Where did you go next?
After the Masterminds, I went to, about a year after that, I got asked to join the Mersey Beats. Were breaking up. And,
The listeners wouldn't know the Mersey Beats because they're one of the few Liverpool groups who didn't make it here in the States. Largely because I think they had such a soft sound. They did mostly ballads, didn't they?
Yeah, they were. Wishing and Hoping.
That's right, and Dusty Springfield did that over here, of course.
It's Love That Really Counts, Dionne
Burt
Warwick
Bacharach songs,
yeah, stuff like that. It's a really good band, good singers. But, like you said, he didn't actually break in America, although I think the records did okay, but they didn't actually make it as personalities over here. And, so they went, when they got back to England, this must be 65 now, I guess. The two singers, Billy and Tony, bass player and the lead guitar player, Billy Kinsley and Tony. Billy Kinsley, incidentally, has got a band called Liverpool Express now. Just had a big record in England about a year ago. Anyway, they wanted to form a new band called the Merseys, which they were going to be the singers, and they wanted to get a five-piece backing band. And I got asked to join that group, and that's when I really moved to London and started sticking my fingers in pies and other things, and seeing what was going on. It's Sunday, I know, but I can't resist it.
And of course, the Merseys did have one hit record in England. I think that was their first record too.
Sorrow, yeah, it was a monster, yeah.
Which our listeners will be familiar with from the David Bowie version, which came out in '73. Yeah.
That's right.
What are you playing on Sorrow, by the way?
Guitar, just guitar.
So let's see if we can...
Page plays on this stuff, folks.
Does he really?
Yeah, Page plays on it, and who else? I'm trying to...
What does he play?
Plays guitar too.
Two guitars.
Just a little bit, yeah. Two guitars, always two guitars. You have to have a rhythm and lead, you know, it's union rules. You can't have the same guy doing two jobs.
Sorry, when I hear guitar, I always think of lead. You refer to rhythm as just guitar.
Rhythm's a very specific way of playing guitar. It's not a lot of people go, they treat rhythm guitar lightly, but it's a very, very involved situation. He said, not knowing what he's talking about.
So there's Jimmy Page. Anybody else of note on this record?
I'm not sure. I'm sure they are, but I can't remember. Nicky Hopkins
that well known there somewhere. Probably. He was on every record, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Nicky was in every studio all the time. That's why he's so thin now.
So let's see if we can spot you and Jimmy Page on Sorrow from the Merseys on QFM 96. Well, could you spot Joey Molland and Jimmy Page on that one? That was Sorrow by the Merseys.
Sorry.
A song originally recorded by the McCoys from Cleveland. Did you know that?
They're from Cleveland?
Yes.
Rick Derringer?
Yes.
Hang on, Sloopy?
Yeah.
I went to see Ohio State the other night. They went down. It was a drag, but it was a great game, and the band played Hang On, Sloopy.
Of course, now you know why.
The big band that came... Oh, that's why.
We play Hang On, Sloopy in Columbus because the McCoys come from Cleveland. It makes sense, doesn't it?
Makes a lot of sense, yeah.
It's as clear as mud, isn't it?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Talking about your... Let's backtrack.
Almost a dead spot there.
Yes. No, not almost. There was a dead spot.
There was a dead spot. It's quiet. Let's do it again.
Yes. I've recorded that. I'll say that. That is a prime dead spot.
Hello, Don.
Going back to before your musical career, how about the music that first turned you on as a kid? What were the records that really impressed you and got you involved in rock?
First thing, Elvis. I'm listening to Johnny Duncan and the Bluegrass Boys one day. Well, I'm not really listening. I was only 11 or something. I'm listening to Johnny Duncan and the Bluegrass.
We need a translation here.
To San Fernando.
That was skiffle. I mean, skiffle didn't happen here in the States, did it?
No,
that was a British phenomenon.
Well, I thought they were a bluegrass group. They're an American group, Johnny Duncan and the Bluegrass Boys. It sounds like it's
Are they really?
Sure, they're an American group.
I'm learning something new every day here.
You do, folks. And I'm listening to it. If you miss this one, you'll never get another one. Diddy-diddy-bum-bum to San Fernando. You know, San Fernando.
I'm sure a lot of people know that
all
song.
Of a sudden, this record came out. This one that you have on your turntable. It's sung by a very well-known singer. I'm sure you'll know.
There's the record that started it all off. On QFM 96, Elvis Presley in blue suede shoes. That's what inspired Joey Molland to be what he is today.
Yeah, lay about.
Exactly.
A hell of a lover, though. I mean...
Yes, of course. Hope we're not missing too much by going from the Sorrows to Badfinger. Was there much in between?
No, Japanese record, big hit Japanese record, a group called Gary Walker and the Rain, but we'll go into that in a little bit.
Now, wasn't there a Gary Walker and the T-Bones? Was that the same Gary Walker?
No, it's a different one, Gary Walker from the Walker Brothers I'm talking about.
Oh, that Gary Walker?
Yeah, there was My Ship Is Coming In, and
yes.
Make It Easy on Yourself, and Scott Walker, Teen Idol of the Century. That's great.
And he made a record that was big in Japan?
No, when the Walker Brothers broke up, I think in '67, the Merseys had kind of gone down now, a little bit, a few times, and maybe for the third time, you might say. And went back to Liverpool, and I was playing with the bass player from the Merseybeats, who were getting a band together, and I got a phone call. Oh, no, I'm talking about Gary Walker, aren't I? I went to London, and I heard he was putting a new group together. He was the drummer in the Walker Brothers, so I got my guitar and walked to his house. It was a few miles and stuff, and he said, wow, look at you, he said. And I said, yeah, look at me, man. And, he said, can you play the guitar? I said, yeah. He said, can you play like Eric Clapton? I said, yeah. I lied through my teeth. And I told him, yeah, I can do it. I can sing. I'm a great singer, and I look good and everything else. Give me the job. I want it. I need it. I want it. And so he said, okay, you can have the job. And I joined that. We made a record, an album. And it was released in Japan. It was very successful. We had a few hits over there. We went over there in '68. Had a great time. Anybody ever going to Japan, it's a beautiful place, you'll like it. A little warm in July, but, you know, these things, you can't change it out.
It's a tough life at the top, I know.
Yeah, it is. It's hard.
It's
yeah.
not all glamour.
I mean, these ice-cold peeled tomatoes and things just turn me off. Anyway, I should say barf me out, shouldn't I? No?
Yes, that is the current idiom, I believe.
Yeah, okay. And, anyway, we came back to England, because of a long story. We went back to England after the tour, and there was nothing really happening for us in England, so I went back to Liverpool. I was getting the band together with Billy from the Merseybeats, and I got a phone call. This band, Badfinger, nay, the Ivies, were just about to release a new record that Paul McCartney had written, and if I wanted, I could go down and maybe audition for them, if I wanted to, so...
Who gave you the call? What was the connection between you and Badfinger?
The connection was... a friend of mine, a fellow named Bob Adcock, who was a road manager, tour manager for Cream at those days, that he ended up to be, well, I don't know where he ended up to be, a weirdo. But no, he was working for Cream, good friend of mine. He was with Badfinger's manager. They were the Ivies at this time. He was with him in a pub in London having a jar. And the guys mentioned, and Bill, who was the manager, mentioned to Bob, Bob, mentioned to him that on and on and on he went, that they were looking for a guitar player. He said, I know a guitar player, Joey Molland, why don't you call him up and get him? So I didn't have a phone, but they called my friend in Liverpool, and he got in touch with me and said, why don't you go down? I'd seen the Ivies on TV, and I was into rock and roll and R&B, and I'd seen them doing Maybe Tomorrow. And I thought, well, hang on a minute, I don't really want to get involved in that too
That was
much.
a sort of a pop ballad. That was a small hit in 68, 69.
Yeah. And so I was half, whether to go or not. And my friends were going, go on down. And so I got one of my best friends, Robbie Hewlett, and we went down. I took him down with me. He was my security. And, I passed the audition, folks.
Wow. And they were so impressed with you that they recorded their first record without you, right?
No, the record, what they'd done is Paul had written this song for Magic Christian Music, and he'd given it to them. He said, yeah, you guys do this, come and get it, it's going to be a hit. And he knows these kind of things. He said, it's going to be a hit, and plus you can write all the rest of the music for the film. The band was going through the name change. Now, a funny story went down here. The bass player from the Ivies, Ron Griffith's his name, great bass player and great singer, I found out about women. I think the day after they recorded Come and Get It, he found out that these women were different to us men, and...
Oh, you must ask him to talk to me. I'd like to find out about women.
There is a slight difference.
Oh.
Well, it's more than slight. And, he had a relationship with this girl, and, it worked out wrong, and,
But lucky for you.
Yeah, he had to leave the band. He just decided something clicked in his brain, women or the band, I don't know. He left the band, and that's how I got the job. Tommy went on to play bass, Tommy Evans, because Tommy was originally the guitar player in the band, played rhythm guitar and sang. He went on to play bass, and they got me in to play rhythm guitar for them originally.
I see, and they recorded Come and Get It shortly before he left and you joined.
So, yeah.
So Here Now People is...
That's why my photo's not on the album, but my name is.
I see. You want some of the other songs then, wouldn't you? No?
No, they just put my name on the album. The album's actually the 4 tracks from the movie, or 3 songs from the movie, and a compilation of tracks from an earlier album called Maybe Tomorrow, which was released in Europe.
Under the name The Ivies, of course.
The Ivies, yeah, with all the leaves on the cover.
So Here Now is the first big
hit
from Badfinger, which does not feature Joey. There's a connection.
Me.
Come and Get It on QFM 96. Yes, I could hear you on Triangle on that one. That was Come and Get It, the first big Badfinger hit from '69. And, well, Bent Back Records. Joe, you've been to Bent Back Records, don't you?
You have to go to
There's
Bent
nowhere
Back
else to
Records.
go.
Nowhere else to go.
And they even have... Do you have a box set of the British Beatles albums from Half Speed Masters?
No, I don't have that.
You talk to them nicely at Bent Back, they might slip you one.
You think so? Possibly.
They've just got a limited supply of those in.
I like the way they have all these Albert King records and things.
They've
like
got a nice
that,
blues section.
Oh yeah, they've got it's a good record shop, hell of a record shop.
It is. They've got the American garage bands from the
Everything.
mid-60s, the
They've
Liverpool
got-
groups from the early 60s.
Unbelievable albums of Liverpool groups from the early 60s. I
They
can't
have.
believe I didn't
Even
know.
some you've never seen before, right?
Yeah. These people aren't from Liverpool. No, it's a great store, Bent Back Records. It's right there on High Street, eh?
Exactly. Open 7 days a week.
$33.95.
33.43.
$33.43. You can't get everything right, not all of the time.
No, nobody's perfect, are they?
No, Napoleon, look.
Yeah, look at him. He wasn't perfect.
He wasn't perfect. He was short as
Yeah,
well.
Exactly,
But
yes.
he definitely wasn't perfect.
There's hope for me yet, isn't there?
Had ambition, though.
And you. Oh,
Ambition means
yes.
a lot in this life, you know. It certainly does.
There's a line, kind of wine, feels so good, such a bright, and you know, deep inside,
Hearing a commercial for the Alrosa a moment ago, and you've experienced the delights of the Alrosa.
Yeah, old
Yes.
Rick down there. Little fella. He's another short fellow. I know he is.
Yeah, we
I'm not
short
gonna
people
say
have got
what
a lot
else.
to offer the world, haven't we?
It's a good place. That's a great club, you know. At Alrosa. I'd like to play that place out
Having
there.
been there, I can't comment.
I like it a lot. If you sell that place out and turn off the air conditioning, it'd be a killer place. Killer.
You do have one complaint.
Jeremy, Rick, I'm talking about you here.
You have one complaint about the Alrosa, don't you?
They ran out of my favourite brand of liquor.
Isn't that disgusting?
It is disgusting, but you can't, you have to live with these things occasionally. First night we came into town, went down there, just partied, it was great. A couple of the guys from Rosie, the guys from Money. Mr. Durzo, where are you?
I think at this point, while Joey munches a piece of Beth Couple's birthday cake here, I think we should explain exactly what you're doing in Columbus, because you're no longer with Badfinger. In fact, before we do that, I should explain to the listeners, because I haven't announced this yet, and that is the Badfinger concert, scheduled for March the 13th, a week today, is cancelled, I'm afraid. That's because their whole US tour is cancelled. They're not coming to the States, so people who've bought tickets, contact Bent Back Records, and they'll arrange a refund for you. Anyway, coming back to you, what are you doing in Columbus then?
I came up here, I was in Atlanta. I've just been playing a little bit. I had a group called The Spare Parts.
What a lovely name.
We were just playing around. I think so, yeah. I like it. And it wasn't working out too much, too good. The drummer and the keyboard player were a little incontinent. And so we decided to break the band up and stuff. And, I'm going to keep the bass player, Ricky the Hat. It's good when I go out live again, I'm definitely going to use Ricky. Anyway, I'm in Atlanta, and a friend of mine, Hugh Rogers, runs a Rogers agency down there. And I was in talking to him about things, and I want to find a new manager and get myself a good situation together again. And he phoned a friend of his, Don Perry, who's, what can I say about you, Don, that won't get on your nerves? He's a very nice man, and he was nice enough to fly down from Columbus. He is based in Columbus now. Don used to manage done somebody wrong song singer.
Is he really?
Yeah.
B.J. Thomas?
BJ, yeah, he used to manage B.J. Thomas. Sorry, man. And very experienced man. He flew down to Atlanta. We met for about 20 minutes, a half an hour, and then we met the next day for about an hour, and we liked each other. We got off together and agreed to something, and so I flew up to Columbus to meet the people that he's involved in. Now, he's involved with some people here, Bob Gerals, or Jerry, or Bobby Jerry, Bob Gerals, Earth Tone Records, and it's a brand new label being formed in Columbus, and Don asked me to come up and see what was going on here, and I came up a week ago last Thursday. I'm kind of real excited about this town. I think there's a lot of talent in the town, and we're looking to open the door, So we've got this whole thing. J.D. Blackfoot's going to be in there somewhere involved, and
It'll be like a new Apple.
yeah, a new Apple. Yeah, we've got the band Money. Everybody in town must know the band Money. Great band, great songs. Mr. Weissman's songs, Old Tom. The bass player's big, man. The drummer's got a great attitude. What can I say? Good friends of mine. I'm just talking about it for what the hell. And yeah, we're getting it all started. We've done a thing with CBS. I guess. Can I talk about that yet?
You already have. Go on. Continue.
Big, distribution deal. I think it's going to really happen. I think I'm really excited
That's
about
great.
it.
So Columbus will become for the first time a major centre for music.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut a record deal myself, an album, sometime in the next 2 months. I'm going to use some of the players I've met around town. I've seen some good bands playing this place. Knocks me out that when I see good bands, local bands. I'm not talking about national acts. I'm talking about local bands. Real good. Kick your backside music. It's good. I like it a lot. Hello, Jill. Jill's our secretary at Earthtone. Keeps it all together for us.
Yes. Hello, Jill. Well, while we're on the subject of
Never
Columbus...
mind. Don't just brush over Jill just like that. She's very nice.
I've never brushed over Jill.
You better not, an old man come down naily to the wall, man.
So, while we're on the subject of Columbus and money and everything, I want you to talk about a Badfinger record now.
A Badfinger record?
Okay, this was the other side of Come and Get It. We're going back now, people.
Well, this is the other side
We're going
of
back to
Badfinger.
1969 again.
This is the other side of Badfinger, too.
That's right.
And the rock and roll
who was on
side.
this record, apart from Badfinger? Says he, with a leading question.
There was this fella there who used to play bass in a big band at the time.
His name was Paul.
Who wrote the song Paul, yeah.
Yes.
Paul. We used to call him the, what did we used to call him? I can't remember now. Paul the Bass. He used to play bass, Mr. McCartney. And he produced to Come and Get It for us, didn't he? And wrote it and all that. Anyway, we're doing, the band, I can't say we're doing because I wasn't there, but the band is doing Rock of Ages. And there's Paul screaming along with Tommy to get Tommy to sing out. Maybe you'll just hear him a little bit on there. Just a little bit.
I take it Paul's mic wasn't actually on then.
Well, they're both singing in one mic, and Paul's standing over here, and Tommy here. You can see the difference, folks. And that's what's happening. Paul's singing.
I
up,
see.
You know?
So although people argued with me, when I played this record a few months ago and I said Paul McCartney was doing vocals, people argued with me, but I'm
well,
right.
the main vocal is Tommy, but
Yes.
Paul is in there a little bit. Just to encourage you to pull us down.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Are we on?
Yes, we are on. Yes.
Ooh, Paul played piano, I forgot, folks.
And he sounds like Paul on that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Paul's encouragement made him sound like him.
Yeah.
But something that's always interested me, and that is that the most successful group on the Apple label, apart from the Beatles, did sound a lot like the Beatles.
Yeah, it's funny.
I mean,
isn't
did
it?
Badfinger sound like the Beatles before they were signed to Apple, or was it just the Beatles producing them
I think so, yeah.
and helping them to make
No,
them
they
sound
only
that
sounded
way?
like the Beatles after I joined, but...
Oh, of course.
No, they just sounded like that's what the band sounded like. A lot of people used to say that. The Beatles discovered us, and the Beatles put us together, and they really didn't. The band was going for 4 years before that.
I remember at times people used to think that Badfinger were the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
So remember the first radio station I worked on, which was in the West Indies, we received day after day, and people said, I bet that's the Beatles under a different name. I said, no, they're
They
a
said that
separate
about
group.
the Knickerbockers, didn't they?
They might have done, actually.
They said,
yes.
God, that's not... Oh, excuse me. Gosh, that must be the Beatles. Well, it wasn't. It was the Knickerbockers. People used to say that to us. It got a little tedious after a while. You know, it was just actually working with the Beatles got to be a little tedious on that level because all people would talk to us about, which was, you know, I guess fair enough, was the Beatles. People expected George Harrison to be playing guitar with us or Paul to be doing the sound, you know what I mean? Sure.
But in some capacity or another, you and Badfinger did work with all four of the Beatles.
Yeah.
Now, Paul... What was Paul like to work with? Let's start with him.
Paul was real easy to work with. Real easy. He's a brilliant man, and you know they'd already made Sgt. Pepper and all that stuff, so they really knew the way in and around recording, making records. So it was great to do that kind of thing with them. Work with them, real relaxed atmosphere, real easy going, no, you know, do it together, get it together right now, man. No heavies, you know. I'm Paul from the Beatles. None of that happening. Just, you know, one of the lads working, let's make records, you know?
Was it a definite policy of the Beatles to make the Apple record company a very personal thing? It seems to me just about everything that came out on that label they produced or were involved with in some way. Did they?
Yeah, they did.
Was that their policy, or did they ever expect to expand it?
Eventually, if you sent tapes to Apple, eventually after the screens, they would listen to them. I mean, it was that level of communication with the people that they wanted to sign was very direct.
Is that how Badfinger got signed, by the way? Sent a tape and they heard it?
Yeah. Well, our manager, Bill, as it happens, Bill Collins used to play with McCartney's old man in a band in Liverpool. I don't know, the Midnight Flyers or something. I don't know what they were called. Years ago. I'm talking about 1930, you know. And he took a tape to Apple, you know, blah, blah. You know, I used to play with your dad, listen to this. And they liked it enough to sign the band.
And probably that personal connection helped Badfinger.
Oh yeah, these personal connections always will help.
Because if I remember rightly, the Beatles announced that Apple would be a complete open door. They'd accept tapes and all sorts of things. They must have been deluged.
It was an open door, yeah. You wouldn't have believed it. It was open door both ways, you know. As much stuff went out of the building as went in, you wouldn't have believed it.
Have you ever seen the Ruttles TV thing?
Yeah, it was just like the guys
people walking out with furniture.
And things, Mercedes went missing, and I think even a house one time. Honestly, I'm telling no lies. I think a house went missing. A whole house.
Superb exercise in mismanagement.
It was good. There was a gang of Hell's Angels lived upstairs there in the room up there. I can tell you things about that room, but I can't talk about it over the air. Secret things. Yes. And great office, lots of really nice people there, lots of creativity. And it was in the middle of all of these, you know, Savile Row is all very staid and reserved people, and there's the Beatles office right in the middle of it all. It was great. Had some great times.
Did they paint the outside of it in psychedelic colours? I can't remember.
No, that was the outside of this. They had a shop on Baker Street.
Yes.
Where Sherlock Holmes is supposed
to be.
Their
boutique.
Yeah, the Apple boutique.
Yes.
And they also had a very straight clothes shop on King's Road. Real beautiful place with all scroll writing everywhere and deco windows. It was really nice. Beautiful place. But you know, there's all sorts of things going down in those days in London. It was just getting psychedelia was happening. And, I mean, really happening in 68, 69, really starting to rock. Mick Jagger did a free concert in London at Hyde Park. Came on in a dress. Do you remember that? Came on. I
didn't know he came on in a dress. No.
It was unbelievable. Jagger comes on stage in a lace outfit, a lace dress, but a little short one, you know, with little white tights on and everything, and Capizios, man, it was outrageous. Everybody went, what's going on there? Place went crazy.
When you got to Apple, you've been in the business a few years.
Yeah.
I mean, when you got in that place, did you think to yourself rather, did you think, oh my God, what's going on here? Or wasn't it apparent? Was it just beneath the surface, all the problems?
It was apparent, no. The problems, their problems?
The fact that Apple was, as far as I know, just totally mismanaged. It had to fold. It was losing money.
It was losing money.
Was it obvious to you?
No, it wasn't. No, I didn't care about that. No. All I cared about was, well, there's John Lennon. Well, look at that. He actually exists, you know. It was just exciting. I was just real excited about to be involved in something that, you know, that's serious and that, because it was a very serious music place. Above all else. Doesn't matter about the accounting, it doesn't matter about all the rest of it. Let's get some good music out of it. That was the prime concern.
So as far as the music is concerned, they were very, very serious. It wasn't just full of hangers-on in the studio having a party, for example.
There were a lot of hangers-on. The parties were very few and far between as far as actual real in-house parties. Every day you could go in there and have a party if you wanted. But the work did get done, believe it or not. You know, the Beatles did make all their albums.
Some very fine records.
Lomax made his records, James Taylor made his, Mary Hopkins, we made all our records. And it was just rolling along, you know, it was good. It was a really good scene. There was a studio being built downstairs. And, you know, all the normal, I imagine, problems that any young company would have. You know, plus we're talking about Stony 1968 here,
yes,
you know what I mean? It wasn't exactly, you know...
Wasn't J. Walter Thompson, exactly.
No, it wasn't J. Walter, or Merrill Lynch, if you like, I don't know.
Let's talk about Badfinger's second album, No Dice, and the single No Matter What, which presumably you were on.
Yeah, we did, after, I think it was early 70, we'd been in rehearsal, getting new songs together, and Pete wrote No Matter What, And we all decided that that would be the next single. So we went and we told Mal about it, Mal Evans, who was a Beatles roadie, and he ran a lot of production things for Apple, and we played it him and he really liked it, and so we went in and recorded it. We recorded No Matter What, a song called Photograph, and another song called Believe Me. And we did it specifically for a single, No Matter What. Worked out the guitar lines and stuff like that. I played slide guitar on that record. It was the first time I'd ever played. Played John Lennon's Lap Steel on that guitar. You know the one off, I think, Because You're Sweet and Lovely Girl, Love You, do, for you, Blue. Played that guitar on there. We gave it to Apple, and we said, here, there's the next single, and they said, this is not good. And they held it for 3 months, put it out, it was a smash hit, it was great.
Great piece of power pop.
Yeah, it was a great number.
And very Beatles-like, if you don't mind my saying. It's sort of in the tradition of
really,
she said, same sort of power chords. And,
big fat sound like a band, and we were real happy with it. We thought it sounded like us, but at the same time it sounded like a record. We were knocked out. That's a good one.
It is. Cream. Badge on WLVQ FM 96.
Just thought we slipped that in, folks. Slipped it in there while they weren't looking.
And why did we slip that in?
Good Lads, man. One of my favourite bands ever, that.
Exactly. You weren't on that record, in case people were thinking, was Joey on Triangle or something?
I actually played the lead solo on Badge.
I thought so.
I just want you to know that. Eric said to me one day, he said, listen, Joe, I need a solo, you know.
You know all the people in Cream. Ginger,
I know
Eric,
them well, yeah.
Jack.
I know them. I nearly played with Jack Bruce once, but I just didn't have the heart for it, or the physical stamina.
I find it so strange that of the solo projects by the ex-members of Cream, Jack Bruce never met with the same sort of success as Eric Clapton. That surprises me.
He got too far out.
Maybe that's the reason.
I mean, he's a real jazzer,
Great voice, fantastic voice.
I thought Cream were just outstanding, the way just how good they played together. As a three-piece band, the way Baker would play with Jack Bruce, and they both allowed Clapton to lead them. You know what I mean? I think that's what was going on. Or if it was a Jack Bruce was happening on the bass, Clapton and Baker would play right behind him, no matter where he went, and they'd go into time signatures and, obscure things, crazy sequences. Okay, we're playing in A minor. Let's go to B flat for a little bit, and let's move up to F then, and then back to B flat, and then maybe go up to a D, and then an E7, and we can get back to the A minor or whatever. That was rubbish, wasn't it? Big load of rubbish for you folks on Sunday morning.
You mean, did they really think that they could, that the three of them could do something better after Cream?
No, I don't think it was a question of that.
Because they didn't. That's very.
I don't think it was. Well, I don't know, man. Don't go saying things like that. Very opinionated person.
I am. The listeners know that. They're used to it.
I don't know. I think Motherless Children. There's a track called The Core.
Excellent.
Another Tick. It's a great song. Of course, Baker and Bruce. I don't know what happened there. Jack Bruce's hair fell out, and Baker went to Africa, and that's all.
Yeah, the last I heard, he opened a studio in Nairobi or something.
Yeah, Lagos. Yeah. Lagos. He went to Lagos and opened the record studio. Great idea, Ginger. Great idea.
Yes. That was maybe, 10 years ago? And what's happened in the last 10 years?
I don't know.
Any idea?
I don't know, but Eric, I think, has grown, and I think he's tremendous. He's always been one of my favourite guitar players. And he's a little personal stuff about the guy. He's a beautiful, lovely man. Never a bad, I've never had a bad vibe off the guy ever, about anything. He's got this great thing he does as well. Every day he looks different. Every single day we were doing All Things Must Pass, and he was playing lead guitar and we were doing the rhythm guitars on it. And every day he would come in. Sometimes he'd come in his patched up blue jeans with his hair all brushed back, like this, and there's Eric Clapton. Then the next day his hair would be like a Beatle, and he'd have some corduroy. You know what I mean? He would look different every single day.
Didn't the Beatles do that too? Seems every time I saw them back in the 60s, they'd have long hair, then short hair, then a beard, then no beard.
They used to go through periods, didn't they?
Yeah.
The Beatles would go through their periods. We used to see George running around London in his striped trousers, those, remember he used to wear all those velvet jackets and striped trousers and the big cravats with the pins in and all this stuff.
Like in Yellow Submarine, the cartoon of him.
Exactly like that. Yeah. George would run like John Lennon with his big fur coat, his long hair and everything, shouting at everybody. He was like a monster. It was great.
It was a few minutes ago now, but we just played Badge by Cream, which George Harrison plays on, and there's a connection.
Yeah.
See, this show isn't just slung together. There's a connection, believe it or
there's
not,
actual connection
between that and the next record.
Connection.
Which is you people. Badfinger. This one was produced by George Harrison.
Yeah.
How did he come to produce you? Did he take a liking to you and say, look, Paul, I want to produce them now?
George,
How
yeah,
did
he
it come
liked us.
about?
Yeah, give us a go, he said. Give us a go. I want to go on Badfinger. Everybody had a go, you know.
Now, on Day After Day, I thought for a long time that could have been George Harrison on lead guitar. It sounds so much like George. In fact, it wasn't, was it?
We did the backtrack, the acoustics, and drums and the bass and piano. No, not the piano. Acoustics, drums and bass, and a rough vocal. And we knew we had to put the slide guitars on the front and do the solo and do the fills. Me and Peter out in the studio. And we're just working it out. You know what I mean? That's what you have to do, you just work it out. And George came in, and he said, would you mind if I played slide on this? I said, no, man, go ahead. 9 hours later, 9 hours later, we had the slide guitars done.
Oh, boy.
I didn't mind, I just sat in the control room, listened, you know, did this with my fingers, like that. You know, the way you rub them together when you think about money?
Yes.
Well, if you put that in conjunction with certain things, what would you call that, materials? You might call it materials, Rizzler, a job. I'd sit in the control room and did that. And I did that for 9 hours, and so George did play guitar on this. And then we did the guitars, another little aside, we're listening to it in the studio, and in walks Leon Russell. He listens, says, I could play a little piano on this. What do you think? And he listened to the song once, went down into the studio, played it once, and then recorded it in the piano part on there. That's Leon. I think it's great. It always knocks me out when the musicians are that good.
Did Paul do something on this record?
He stayed away.
Oh. I just thought that when I spoke to you the other day and I said, was that George? I thought you said, no, it was Paul. Maybe we had a bit of a miscommunication there.
Sure,
which happens frequently with me.
Well, me too.
But I mean, that Day After Day is such a fantastic song. When you...
Great number, yeah.
Did you know that was a single right from the beginning? Did you say, right, this is it, this is the hit?
No, I think, I don't think we did, no. Baby Blue was actually, we did Baby Blue on the same
Another
record.
great one, of course.
And that was the one before this. We did Baby Blue before this.
But I mean, when that came out in late 71, Day After Day, you know, music wasn't really, there wasn't too much happening then. A lot of introverted music, Emerson, Lake and Palmer and Yes. And you hear this really fantastic melodic song. To me, it's the sort of song that Paul McCartney would be proud of writing.
It was a pretty
but
song.
Never did. Excellent
Yeah,
song.
sold millions of copies Day After Day. It was a big record.
Was it your biggest single?
I think so, yeah.
Well, I think we should hear it now, don't you?
Yeah, why don't you
think
play
so?
it now? We
Yes.
built it up.
Why
It'll
not?
probably sound awful.
Yes. Day After Day on QFM 96. Badfinger's records were certainly far and few between, but those two they did bring out, they were real winners. Every one of them an absolute
I thought
classic.
we were pretty consistent in the beginning there. No Dice came out, and then...
Why
next
such a
album
long
came
gap
out
between
straight up.
that and Straight Up? It was
There wasn't
a year and
real
a
long
half?
gap. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, no matter
Oh.
what was the summer of 70, and then Day After
Yeah.
Day came out right towards the end of 71.
Is it that
So
long?
over a year, yes.
I don't know, then I've got no idea.
Oh, because I was going to ask you, in fact, why there were usually long gaps between your releases.
We recorded. I sure know, man. We went on tour in America after the No Dice album, and that was in the fall of 71. Fall of 71, we did a tour for ATI, played all over, and then we went back to England early 72. I mean, late 71. Went start rehearsing and recording Straight Up. We'd already done All Things Must Pass. The Bangladesh concert came up. When was the Bangladesh concert? Phone in, tell us.
Yeah,
Somebody
I can't
phone in
remember.
and tell us. There was this Bangladesh concert.
Mid-71, something like that.
We were right in the middle of the project when we did that. And Todd came over, because George was very involved in the Bangladesh situation. And that's when Todd came over and finished up Straight Up with us. Now, we went on to record the next album, Ass. We recorded one version of it ourselves, gave it to Apple, and they didn't like it, because it didn't sound like Straight Up, it sounded more like No Dice. And they didn't like it, so they wanted us to go and do it again. So we started doing
The whole
it.
album?
Yeah. So we did the whole album again.
Oh, God.
And with Chris Thomas. Anyway, I'm losing it, folks. I'm losing it here. We're doing
that
it.
Sound effect courtesy of Wendy Steele, by the way, people.
The question was, why was it so long? Why was it so long between records? And what happened was there was a thing went down with we wanted to stay with Apple. Our contract was running out, and we'd already recorded Ass, and that was where the big gap was between the album Straight Up and the album Ass. We'd recorded it. We wanted to stay with Apple. We asked Alan Klein for a 16-track recording studio. That's all we wanted. Between 100 grand in those days. And he wouldn't do it. Klein said no. We went to Warner Brothers. They gave us $3 million and say no more.
Why on earth did he say no? What reason did he give you, let's put it that way?
I don't know, because his Bermuda shorts were too tight.
Probably.
Because George had shouted at him that day. I don't know.
This is probably an example of how crazy Apple was, I suppose.
The
wrong people
making
the wrong
crazy the
decisions.
music business is. You know, just people do strange things. I don't know, they get out of bed the wrong morning, the wrong side. I don't know why.
It's probably
It's a
like
crazy
radio.
business.
People act on impulse a lot.
It's got to be the greatest business in the world. Nothing like it. Nothing like it at all.
Well, that's for sure. Well, we'll talk a bit more about your work with George Harrison and Todd Rundgren in just a moment.
Okay.
Here's a rock legend.
No matter what you are.
Direct from England, it's Badfinger at the Alrosa, Sunday, March 13 at 8.
Guess I got what I deserve.
Bentback Records presents the legendary Badfinger with guest the Tomboys, Sunday, March 13 at the Alrosa. Tickets $5 from CTO outlets, and you must be 19 or over. Is there?
Wind's coming from the east.
I do that the next break.
Yeah.
I'll get used to do it. Actually, do it now. There it is. If you can read Wendy Steele's handwriting,
Hello there.
if you get over that barrier.
There's the weather for today. Looks like there's a little bit of rain coming in, maybe some thunderstorms. We've got a high of about 70 though, so it's not too bad. Tonight, what's cloudy? What's that?
Mostly, I think.
Mostly cloudy. Slight chance of showers in the early evening. The low will be around 50. That's not too bad either. I wouldn't stay in. Monday, we're talking cloudy. Chance of showers again. A high of 62. It's going down, folks. And it says here something about rain, 61.
Oh,
Mr.
that's
Playing a
now.
group called
That's
Rain.
now.
That's now?
Yeah, light rain and 61.
Is it raining outside now?
Well, it was when I called the weather people about half an hour ago. It's probably stopped by
They're the
now.
last people to call. We all know
Yes.
that. Don't ever call the meteorological office.
Of course, quite often it's raining out there, but not here.
It
They're
never
out at the
rains
airport or
inside. I've
something.
never seen it rain inside.
Oh, it does where I live.
Except in the space centre it rains inside.
Yeah. Clouds follow me around.
Do they?
They come in the door with me. Yeah.
Well, you should shave more often, man.
Yes.
That's what happens. The hair on your face causes like
As I
a
tell
light-
people, this is radio, not television.
That's what they say. Light condensation forms on the forehead, and before you know it, it's raining.
Ah.
Can't help it. Nibble,
You
nibble,
live and
nibble.
learn, don't you?
You live and learn. Hello, Bob.
Isn't modern science
Good
wonderful?
morning, Bob.
Somebody else you know, is it?
Bob.
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 Okay.
He's not big either. I know a lot of short people.
Yeah. Small yet dynamic. That's what
That's
we are.
what it is. That's what
Yes,
we need. Dynamics.
exactly.
We need dynamics. That's not a bad name for the group, is it?
That's a good name, actually.
Frankie and the Dynamics or
Yes.
something.
Yes. Very good.
Yeah.
That's even better than the small spare parts, was it?
Yeah, Spare Parts.
Love that
I
name.
think that's a
Love that
knockout
name.
name, Spare Parts.
My favourite name so far, though, is a punk group that came out in about 77 called Johnny and the Self-Abusers. I still love that name.
The Dead
Never heard
Kennedys?
them yet.
What about the Dead Kennedys?
isn't a
How
bad
about
name.
that? I think it's an awful name.
It
The
is.
Dead Kennedys.
Disgusting.
Blech. Make you want to throw up.
He's
I like-
completely devouring half a cake here. Beth Keppel, if you're listening, well, I know she is.
This
If
is
you want some
something-
more of your birthday cake, forget about it.
Forget it, Beth.
It's going
Forget
in.
it. Forget it.
Anyway, the concert for Bangladesh. You boys
Great idea.
played there, didn't you?
It was a great idea. We were doing Straight Up, I think. No, we finished Straight Up. Phone call one day, George says, listen, would you like to go to New York and do this concert for Bangladesh? Can't pay her any money or anything, but it's a charity gig and you might like to do it. We said, yeah, right. So we went to New York, and Air India, great, nearly fell out the back on the way. They have these planes, these constellations, you know what anybody know what a constellation is? And the back doors are flimsy. I'm riding in this plane and I can see the air outside. I'm serious. A little nervous. Anyway, we did get to New York. We're checking the hotel and everything. We rehearsed at the Steinway shop there. There's a Steinway shop right behind Central Park South. Upstairs, little rehearsal room, and the band kind of flew in. We came in on a Monday, and there was us and George, Ringo, and I think Billy Preston was there the first day, or Klaus Vorman. And then the next day, the horn players came in, Bobby and those guys, and Jim Price, Bobby Keys and stuff. And then the next day, Leon Russell came in, and then the band got bigger and bigger and bigger every day. And we ended up, when we did the sound check on Saturday, we had this 23-piece band on stage. It was great. And the surprise, this was a great day. We did the sound check and everything, and the rehearsals for the concert was on the Sunday. Got it all together, and we're just sitting around, really waiting for the limos and stuff to come. And this guy walks on stage, acoustic guitar and a harmonica. Who's that? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind, and it's all over now, baby blue. You know what I mean? So we all sat down and watched Bob Dylan for 90 minutes. It was just great, just the band and Bob Dylan in the garden. It was just fantastic, and real exciting gig.
And you were like the rhythm section for...
We played... What he did was, George wanted to reproduce the record as faithfully as he could, and he got all of the same people. Little technical note for the musos out there. George used 4 Fender Champ amps on Madison Square Garden. That's a total of about 30 watts, I think.
Really?
Yeah, killer.
Well, who's actually playing the acoustic guitar on Here Comes the Sun from Bangladesh?
George and Pete, just the both of them.
It's just those two people at
That's
this
all.
number,
That's all that are playing now.
Okay. From the concert for Bangladesh on QFM 96, George Harrison with...
Takes a while. Did you nearly forget what that was then?
It did, actually. I had to stop and think for a while. Well, I look over my shoulder at the turntable while I'm talking, and my head spins with the records. I try to read the label.
That's what it
Giving
is.
away all the trade secrets here. Which, I'd like to thank the listeners, by the way, for telling us that was recorded August the 1st, 1971.
August the 1st.
Bangladesh.
What a day.
You remember it well, I'm sure.
It was a great magic day.
By the way, I must interrupt the flow of the conversation here just to tell people again that the Badfinger concert for next Sunday is cancelled because Badfinger have cancelled their tour of the United States, and if you contact Bentback Records, they'll arrange a refund for you.
Refund.
What did I say?
Refund.
Oh.
That's what you said.
Okay.
I was just repeating what you said.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
It's all like Laurel and Hardy or Abbott and Costello. Somebody did that. Anyway, to go back to the original flow of the conversation, pick up our train of thought.
Yes.
We were playing stuff from your album Straight Up, and some of that was produced by George Harrison, like Day After Day.
That went to
and
Bangladesh.
So is the next song,
That's
which
right.
you wrote.
I wrote this one.
Written by you.
Written by me, all
Called
my
Suitcase.
lonesome, all
Yes.
my lonesome suitcase. Song about being on the road.
You're not just a pretty
Leon
face,
Russell
are you?
plays a little guitar on here, little stabby guitar. Old Klaus Vorman played piano. George produced it. We did it at EMI Studio 3, where All Things Must Pass was recorded. I can't remember the day, folks. I'm sorry.
Somebody will call in and tell us, no doubt.
Yeah, the actual words, second verse, it says butcher, butcher. I sing on there. The actual words are pusher, pusher, but they wouldn't let me put it on the record. These things happen, though.
Yes.
Censors.
Suitcase on QFM 96.
Yeah.
Ends sort of suddenly. And the next one begins sort of suddenly, too. That was Joey's song. That was Suitcase off of the Straight Up album. You're on QFM 96. That song and Day After Day were produced by George Harrison, maybe one or two others. Most of the tracks were produced by Todd Rundgren. What was he like to
finished
work
them up.
with?
Where's the album? Todd Rundgren
There it
was
is.
very difficult to work with for me. Very rude person. I think he's from Philadelphia, isn't he? That probably explains it right there. City of brotherly love, that's hogwash.
How did he come to produce... Did he produce you in England?
Yeah,
You feel
what
well to
happened
do
was George had done Suitcase, I'd Die Babe, Take It All, Day After Day, and Name of the Game. And we were like, that's like half of the album. The Bangladesh concert came up, right? So he said, look, I've got to start getting involved in this because it was kind of worrying him. He's a very concerned person, George. It's not publicity or anything like that. He actually does care about people. And he said, look, I can't finish the album, I'm sorry. He said, look, but I've asked Todd Rundgren to come over and do it. And he's a great producer. You know what I mean? I think he'll do a real good job for you.
Were they friends? Is that why he asked?
Yeah,
Todd?
well, I guess they were friends. I don't know. I never saw them together anywhere, folks. But, there weren't any kind of liaisons happening. But, Todd came under George's recommendation, which was good enough for us, and he came over, but I just found him very rude, and, you know, he's a talented cat and all that, you know, but...
Was he a perfectionist or just very rude?
No, he's not a perfectionist, he's just rude.
Now, I remember sometime in the early 70s, there was a correspondence going on between John Lennon and Todd Rundgren on the back page of The Melody Maker, a British music magazine, for those who don't know. I don't know if you remember
heard about this.
And they were insulting each other. You know, John Lennon would write a letter one week, Todd Rundgren the other.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they really meant it or whether they really knew each other and were friends and were kidding each other. Because I can imagine now that John might have meant it from what you've told me.
I mean, I never actually read these things. I did hear a little bit about it, and I actually saw an end result of that. There was a letter John wrote to Rolling Stone saying something to the effect that it's all over, it doesn't really matter, it was no real big deal anyway, who cares about Todd Rundgren, you know?
I remember in these letters, John Lennon would misspell Todd Rundgren's name every time.
What?
He'd misspell Todd Rundgren's name and
Todd
differently
Rundgren.
every time, yes.
Yeah, midget.
However...
he had a great sense of humour, didn't he? He was funny.
He did. He really was. Whether it was any thanks to Todd Rundgren... Actually, talking of Todd Rundgren, let's dwell on him a bit more, shall we?
Okay, yeah, he's good.
The funny thing I noticed is...
He's awful thin, you know.
He is, isn't it?
Oh,
yeah,
he's
straggly
really
hair.
thin. He's got long, stringy hair.
Yes.
And people use him as a bottle opener occasionally.
But you know
Sorry, Todd, nothing personal here, just, you know, what the hell.
You know what I noticed? The funny thing is, he's had very few hit records himself. He's probably had about 2 or 3 hit records in the 15 years or so he's been making records. Yeah. Yet whenever he produces other artists, everything he touches turns to gold. I mean, Grand Funk had their biggest hits when he produced
He's a monster.
all the notes.
He is a monster producer. He is a monster producer. He's got real good ears, and he knows what he's doing. He's very hip now. He's into all of the video things. You know, he was talking about it years ago. I don't want to talk anymore about Todd.
Right.
I don't like him very much, and I don't like his music.
However, we will play a record that was produced by him, and it's an excellent, excellent song. Whether it's thanks to him or not, the song is fantastic.
The song's got nothing to do with him. The song's nothing to do with him.
Indeed not.
He did get me a nice guitar sound, though. Thank you, Todd.
He played something on this, did he?
No, he didn't,
just
no.
by producing your guitar, you mean?
He got us some nice guitar sounds, yeah.
But this, like, day after day, had the same sort of impacts. It came out in 72 when music was getting a bit limp, and this was pure power pop. The energy and power on this one is incredible.
It's good.
Great, great song. Another one that I think Paul McCartney would have been proud of writing.
Yeah.
In case people don't know, we're talking about this one. What's a Gem?
Some Beatles, ever saw the Rolling Stones. Oh, way down the ferry, anywhere from coast to coast. Jump into your motor, turn it on and let it roll. Dance with me back what you can satisfy your soul. Bend back records. Bend back. Festivals of Beatles sound. Let me tell you, brother, ain't nobody else around. Jump into your motor, turn it on and let it go. Dance to them back record, you can satisfy it now. Them back records. Them back records.
You know what amazes me about Badfinger is that, as you know, starting about 4 or 5 years ago, power pop really came back in a big way. Dave Edmunds, Elvis Costello, the DBs, the Go-Go's, so on and so on. And I think they owed a lot to Badfinger's sound.
Maybe, I don't know.
Weren't there any...
Edmunds got doing it for ages. He's a good friend of mine.
Who's
Dave
that?
Edmunds. Dave Edmunds.
Really?
Primo rock and roll, yeah.
Oh,
Love
definitely.
it. Crawling from the wreckage and all that. I love it.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Badfinger have really got the edge on any of those acts. They're fine acts, I mean, I like all of them. I mean, weren't there any didn't anybody suggest, well, let's get the original Badfinger back together. This sound is happening now, and we were one of the originators. Let's cash in on it.
People have said that too. Let's put it back together, but you go on a little bit, don't you? You know what I mean? You can't get it back together. It won't be the same. Pete is dead. Wouldn't be the same.
That's true. That's Pete Ham, who was lead vocalist on most of the songs, wasn't he?
On the Baby Blue Day After Day. Yeah.
And he wrote a lot of the big hits too.
He wrote all the big hits except for Come and Get It. Pete was really hot when the band started happening. Come and Get It. About a year after that, he was really happening, writing songs. Unbelievable songs, loads of them.
And even a song that another artist had a hit with, which we'll come to later, of course.
Yeah, we'll come to that in a little bit. We're going to run out of time.
We are, aren't we?
12:30. Well, maybe we'll stay on till 1 o'clock, hey? What the heck?
That's it. That's what we'll do.
Change the format. Okay, we're going to hard rock, man.
Coming back to the Beatles and Apple, which will tie in with the next record we're playing. See, this isn't just slung together.
Oh, is this Apple?
Apple of My Eye.
Yeah, we
Apple
recorded this song. This song's about Apple. We were finished, our contract was finished, and we wanted to stay with Apple. And Klein was running Apple at the time and wouldn't give us what we wanted. I just said this before, didn't I?
I believe you did, actually. And, there's no need to repeat that.
He wrote this song about it. Start it, what do you know?
Okay, I'll ask the next question when it's over then. Okay.
Good guitars.
Apple of My Eye. This is from the album Ass. Apple of My Eye. Badfinger on QFM 96.
Isn't that nice?
It is.
The song was all about that.
Yeah.
You just asked me a question,
And it's amazing that the Apple label released it too.
Yeah.
On that label.
It took ages because of there was a bad scene went down. The lads were kind of upset about it, I think, George and John and everybody, because they had done a lot and helped us a lot, and I think they thought we'd left the label. And like I say, what actually happened was we couldn't make a deal with Klein. And it wasn't until years later that George found out about it. The next record, John was going to produce it. The next album was going to be the John Lennon album, Badfinger and John Lennon album.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
It would have been a killer record. And, we didn't want to leave. We didn't want to leave Apple. It was great.
That's amazing. They'd given Alan Klein then sort of executive power then.
Yeah, 3 of them did. He was running the company. We're going to let a lizard crawl on our rock.
Amazing. Anyway, we'll go back in time now. Badfinger used to be called the Ivies, as we said, and you weren't with the Ivies, but...
I was in Liverpool. We're going to play a record for you now, folks. I'm in Liverpool, and this is 69, I think, early 69. There's this woman, Lulu, this girl singer. She just did To Say With Love. She did that song you mentioned.
That was a #1 over here.
And anyway, Lulu had her own TV show at the time, and the guests on it this night were the Ivies and Jimi Hendrix. The Ivies did This May Be Tomorrow song, blue suits and everything.
That's the first time you'd seen them?
And that's the first time I saw them, yeah. And then Hendrix came on, and he's doing his hits there, and it's the end of the show, second half of the show after the ads, and he's doing Hey Joe, and why don't we play this record and everybody can find out what happened.
Yeah, this is recording from the Lulu TV show from BBC Television. You'll hear Jimi Hendrix just getting into the song Hey Joe, then you listen carefully to what happens. Sure. Well, while Jimi Hendrix warms up or gets in tune or whatever. Well, that was recorded by some sneaky fellow from a TV set on the Lulu show in 1968.
Together, wasn't he?
Definitely,
together,
definitely.
Well, Hendrix. So we played with Hendrix once at the Savile Theatre in London. Brian Epstein started promoting these concerts then. We opened the show for Hendrix, and we did our show and that stuff, and I was walking around backstage, and I go by Hendrix's dressing room, and there's nobody in there. So I sneaked in there and had a quick go of all his guitars. It was great, and then I ran out quickly, and I've got to play Jimi Hendrix's guitars. It was made up.
Well, in just a moment, Joey, we'll talk about your work with John Lennon.
Okay.
Because you worked on the Imagine album. We'll take a break, as they say.
Yeah.
Well, before we take a break, I think we should tell the listeners about Bentback Records again. I mean, what a place!
It is a good record place. It's a record store.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
They
specialise in oldies. You've picked up a few there, haven't you?
Yeah.
Records as well.
Waiting for Columbus, Little Feat there. John Mayall.
Blues Breakers.
They've got it all, folks. Go on down there.
All the classics they hear on this show.
Records. Yeah. And these guys will actually go find the record for you. If they don't have it in stock, they will go find it.
Oh, yes, sometimes they'll even sell records to you when you go in there. Sometimes.
No, they won't sell no records. You can go and look and feel them and everything, you know. Sometimes it's just as good to look and feel, you know what I mean?
That's my motto, yes.
That was Murray Roman's motto, too.
Yes, I can believe it.
Yeah.
Great shop for records. Weird people in there. They've got this character Jerry working in there. You ask him for a record, you know what he does? Gives you an argument for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Then he tries to sell you some runny cheese.
What do you want that record for, yeah?
Then an hour and a half later, you walk out with a dead parrot nailed to a perch.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean,
this is a late parrot, man. This is a late parrot.
By the way, the people from Bedback are in here, in case you're wondering what those weird extraneous noises are. Anyway, we'll be back in a moment.
Bye.
Aye, Captain.
And we're back. Action, lights, camera.
Let's give away records now, come on.
Oh, yes, I keep forgetting about that. John and Jerry from Bedback here keep saying, when are you going to do the contest?
They've contributed some records, folks.
And you've autographed them, haven't you?
Yes, let's think of a silly question.
We've got a couple of copies of Ass, the Badfinger album, autographed by Joey Molland, automatically collector's items.
Automatically.
They have my fingerprints on too, which makes them extraordinarily valuable. Think of a question.
Think of a question.
Badfinger related.
A Badfinger related question?
Yes.
What's the name of Tommy's uncle? No, Badfinger.
Knowing some of our listeners, some of them
What
might
was
know.
the name of the band that Tommy went to after he left Badfinger?
That's a good question. Okay, call in on 821-9696. I'll start with caller number 6, and the first 2 people with the correct answer will each win a copy of that album autographed by Joey. So the band that Tom Evans formed after Badfinger, just name them and you'll win
Bob
that.
Jackson.
You'll win those albums given by
John
Bedback
Wilson. No,
Records.
that's John Wilson's a good songwriter. From this particular band, John Wilson, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
What was he in before that? Anything we'd know?
No.
That famous, eh?
I don't think so.
We'll talk about your work with John Lennon now, I think.
Should we?
Yes.
Well, we got a phone call one night. We all used to live together, Badfinger. We had this little house in London. And we'd done all this work. Anyway, we got a phone call one night. Would you like to go down to John Lennon's house? Of course, we all immediately said no. I mean, who wants to go to John Lennon's house? Who cares?
Yes, yeah.
You know, so we went to John Lennon's house. And he had this beautiful estate there. And his house is very different, you know. John Lennon's house was different than a normal person's house. He had, instead of paintings and things, he had, like, hammers. And screwdrivers hanging on the walls in frames and things. And there was a stepladder that you climbed up and looked at through the magnifying glass, you know. And it said a yes on the ceiling. All black carpets everywhere. Lennon was nowhere to be seen, though. This was 11 o'clock at night, and of course we should have figured it out that the man was still in bed. So we put what's his name, Mike Pinder, we put him in the toilet with his synthesizer. And went and sat down, and then comes Mr. Lennon. Really bug-eyed, man. Really gone. Hello, everybody. Shouting at everybody. And we proceeded to do this song that you're about to hear now. He actually did sound like John Lennon when he sang and played. I was amazed. No echo or anything on his voice, no mics, nothing. The guy sounded like John Lennon, and he played this song, and it's a great, you know, what can you do? Here we go. I'm sorry you're not on your radio, Don.
You're still an echo.
Yeah. You want some cake? Who wants cake?
Well, somebody called in and asked for cake.
I
that was
want
Don Perry, wasn't
candy.
it?
I want
Still don't have any winners for that contest. It was a very difficult one. I may hold over that contest for next week.
It was a difficult question.
Yeah,
Simple question, simple question. What was the B-side of Hey Jude?
That's a simple question, isn't it?
Come on, B-side of Hey Jude.
Well, I'm not going to give away albums. I'll just hold over those prizes till next week. They've got to work for contests on this
I
show.
tried,
you know?
folks. I tried. What can I say?
So, I mean, they're Badfinger
Some
albums.
people are just mean, man.
Autographed by yourself. And so I think a Badfinger fan should win them. And only Badfinger fans would know the answer to this question. No wild guesses, please. People calling it wild guesses like Brinsley Schwartz.
Wild guesses.
Either you know the answer
Couldn't
or
drag
you
me
don't.
away.
Anyway,
Hello, Bob.
The next song.
Mrs. Bob. Mrs. In-law Bob.
You think a cat's listening to?
John Derzo. John Derzo. He's a nice lad.
So I've heard.
Yes. Old Daisy. He's big. I said that before, didn't I?
You did, yes.
We've been on too long here.
Yes, we're repeating
Let's play
ourselves.
this song, man. Play this song.
Now, many listeners will be surprised to know that this is the original version of this song by Badfinger.
Yeah.
But somebody else made it a big hit.
They
How
did,
did
yeah.
Nilsson get a hold of this song?
He heard the song somewhere.
That
A
sounds
friend's
reasonable.
house or something. And a few months later, he was looking for songs for his album, and he thought about this song, and he looked through all his records, played them, and he eventually found it on the Badfinger album, on the No Dice record.
The original, folks.